All right, fellow patriots, welcome back to another Friday Mental Jiu-Jitsu. My name is Michael Buell, and I will be your sensei. All right, check it out, guys. We got sanctuary for single moms for when calamity strikes. That's what we got for you today. What is calamity? Anything that brings hunger, disease, or violence to your doorstep. Death, doom, and destruction. So, yeah, we got them covered. What else do we have today? The 19th Front War and you. We've discussed this before. What is the 19th Front War? Again, it is anything that brings hunger, disease, or violence to your doorstep. Death, doom, and destruction. So these are some examples. Civil War II. Remember that was at the top of the charts for a while. Still's pretty high. Texas Revolution II. Sometime last year, this was the number one. This had the top spot. World War III's been hanging around the top spot for, they've been around the top spot for a while. Power or food supply shortages. This would be something that brings hunger, disease, violence to your doorstep. A pandemic, another pandemic, but maybe this time a real one. I listen. Don't get upset with me. Don't call me crazy. Space aliens. I only wrote this because it's what the government told us. There's a mothership out there. There's aliens coming out of the water. So that's not on me, but if space aliens can be real, then so can the rapture. So can Ragnarok. So are you prepared for the trials and tribulations? Are you prepared for the Fimble winter where brother turns against brother, where all bonds are broken? It's every man for himself. So what do we got? At the top of the chart right now, we've got World War III. That's back at the top of the 19th Front War that'll bring hunger, disease, and violence. We've got Russia versus Ukraine, but many of you want it to be Russia versus America. We've got Iran versus Israel, but many of you want it to be Iran versus America. China and Taiwan, they're going to keep heating up and they're going to eventually take over. That's going to happen. And many of you want it to be China versus America. Pakistan versus India right now bombing each other, nuclear powers. And America, many of you want America to step in. And now Russia's saying if America does step in, they're stepping in. So all of this, we got all this coming. We've always got this civil unrest when things start to break down in society. You'll get this civil unrest, and we already know the unholy alliance is here. They still have the Trojan horse army, the South American incursion for the purpose of chaos. You saw them flex their muscle last weekend, and we've seen Islam flexing on the street. So I mean, it's the civil unrest is for real, and it coming to your front door. I got an asterisk here. This is also warfare changes. When warfare changes, it's hard to adjust. Well, how do you adjust to it? So now we've got something called hypersonic weapons. These things are more supposed to be more advanced than the atomic bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These are powerful missiles that can travel at Mach 5, 5 times the speed of sound or faster. I've heard up to 10, Mach 10. They're guided. They can hit precisely where they want them to hit. You can't shoot them down. North Korea's got a handful of them. Iran's got a handful of them. China's got some. Russia's got some. Also, you've also seen the use of drones in Ukraine and Russia. They had a secret mission. They loaded some drones up into semi trucks, drove it into Russia, got to wherever they wanted to go to, opened the roof of the semi rig. A bunch of drones flew out of it, and they blew up like 40 airplanes, 40 bombers. So that's a pretty impressive mission. But you don't think those trucks are in this country? You don't think drones are all over this country? Dirty bombs, enemy forces, the Trojan horse army. When it gets ugly, people, it can get very ugly. So how prepared are you when it gets ugly? Now, people always talk about a bug out bag. Arkansas is my bug out bag. I bugged out to Arkansas. But what about you? Do you have a location? Do you have a bug out location? Do you have bug out equipment, guns and ammo, food, water, truck, a generator? How equipped are you? If you just got a bug out bag, like where are you bugging out to? How long are you going to last out there? I don't know. Depends who you are, I suppose. Backup. What kind of backup do you have? Do you have friends and family? Are they nearby? Are they trained? Or do they have equipment? Are they just going to be mooching off of you? Have they been preparing? There's no telling. Neighbors, same thing. Are your neighbors coming to help or your neighbors coming to take? There is no telling. I got an 80-something-year-old neighbor, a 76-year-old neighbor, a 76-year-old neighbor. No, I don't. My neighbors are on my team. There'll be no problem. They'll be looking for me to help. They're not gonna be taking shit. All right. Location. How about your location? Like I'm bragging. I'm in the sticks of the sticks of the sticks. Arkansas is the sticks. There's the sticks. There's the sticks. I'm in the. I moved to a red state, surrounded by red states, inhabited by rednecks who are ready. Now you can't get a better location than me. Come on, people. Food production and storage. That's another big thing you're going to have to do, guys. You should have had those warnings during COVID, but you got to get a garden, animals, dehydrator, a freeze dryer. We take our duck eggs and chicken eggs, put them in, beat them up, put them in a pan, put them in the freeze dryer. Come back a day later, it's turned to powder. Put in a baggie, seal it. It's supposed to last 25 years. Yeah, a sealer. Smoker, food and water. Do you have enough food and water for a week, a month, a year? What do you have? Are you ready for this, people? If you are, congratulations. If you are not, if you are a single mother out there and you're scared, you're living in New York, you're in an apartment, your children are threatened every day, you're living in a terrible place, you don't know what to do. Well, maybe we got the sanctuary for you. Sanctuary for single moms. Listen, I can't save everybody. So who can I pick? Who should I pick to save? Well, I decide I'll save America's most vulnerable people, single moms and their children. Why, Michael? Because you're a dirty old man? Stop it. That's you just jealous. I thought of it first. No, because it makes the most sense. If we're going into Fimbulwinter, if we're going to Ragnarok, if we're going into Armageddon, if we're going into World War III, if we're going into societal breakdown, you got young women and children. You train the children medical to do medical work. You train them how to use tools. Train the little boys to fight. No, this makes sense. You got the kids out there. Let's say it doesn't break down. Let's just say everything's going okay, pretty smooth, but we're surrounded by our enemies. They still hate your race. They still hate your religion. They still hate your family values. They still hate you. So you can still raise your children on a farm. These kids that do these farmer people chores, they grow up strong, they grow up healthy, they grow up capable children. Yeah, they work in the garden, take care of the animals. Moms take care of the soldiers. We have soldiers out here, and soldiers protect the community. This is what we got for them. This is what it is right here. So what do we have to offer? Here's a single mom stuck in an apartment in a big city, surrounded by our enemies, and your children are scared. This is what I'm offering. 16 acres of pastures and trees. We've got 2 streams going here, a fishing pond, an orchard, a greenhouse, a garden. We've got 5,000 square foot housing for the soldiers and the handymen who want to help take care of them. We've got, we've got goats, chickens, ducks, turkeys. We got plenty of room. So apply now. If you're scared, you're out there by yourself. We talked about this before. Culturally consecrated communities. We talked about the African freed slaves after the Civil War started 557 freedom colonies. So they could be amongst themselves. They got similar past, they got a future together. So why shouldn't we be able to do that, guys? So let's do it. Resist and assist. I'm out.